Hi, my dear students. Last video we have discussed about HTML listing labels. In this video, we are going to discuss about HTML images. So, images. So, in order to embed the images into the web pages, we are using HTML tags. See, we cannot actually images can be appended to the web pages. Just we are embed the image to the web pages. So anyway, in this scenario, HTML support we can upload images by using image tag. So that image tag is img tag, which is to embed an image onto the web page. Images are not technically inserted to the web page. Images are linked to the web page. So that this is a reason why images we can place into the folder, and thus that location will be shared to the web pages, so that corresponding images can be embedded into the web page. So that is syntax of the image tag is so img src equal to url alt equal to rn text. So here prerequisite two attributes are there for the img tag. One is the src, which specifies path of the image where actually image resides. That is the path you should specify into the src. And alt, the message which are going, we are writing that message, that will be displayed whenever the corresponding image will not be embedded into the web page. Meaning is corresponding web image will not be displayed on the web page. So image tag creates a holding space for the reference image. Whatever reference we are giving now in the src, that will be it will be hold the reference. So and also image tag should, is a empty tag. It contains only attributes. It doesn't contain have a closing tag. So almost all HTML tags are opening tag as well as closing tag. But in image they are having only empty tag. So it should consist of attributes. So in this attributes, major attributes for required attributes of SRC plus alt, which is to SRC, which contains the path of the image, and alt, what is the message we are writing in that will be displayed if the image not loaded into the web page. That is it. So next example by using the image tag. Example. So in this example, so here just display simple image image web page. So here as usual remaining part of the tags will be known. Only thing is you should observe image tag. So the image tag is img src is equal to see img. Okay, src is equal to, here we are specifying the path. See, path is c colon users. So mine here image dot jpg path, jpg image that will be available in the unit 2 folder. Okay, directly. So that will be on the desktop. That's what we need to specify the path of the image. So here prerequisites you need to remember. Before c, we need to see directory name is there. That before that we need to write forward slash. So that is very important in order to specify the path of the image. And my alt equal to test image. If the image.jpg file is not available in the unit 2 folder, unit 2 directory, the message will be displayed test image. Okay, that is the purpose we are getting on. So in this way we are inserting the image. So here image actually loaded into the or embedded into the HTML page, web page. So in specific format. So we need to specify any width and height of that. So one more attributes are there in order to specify what is the location. So for the image inserting. So this is next. Yeah, these are the attributes of the image tag. So alt already we discussed, specify an alternate text for an image, and cross origin anonymous use credentials allow images from third party sites that allow cross origin access to be used canvas. So height we need to specify value as pixels. It specifies height of the image, where how much is height of the image we specify. And isMap specifies image as a server side image map. Okay, and long test that we have to specify value is URL. Specifies actually URL to a detailed description of an image. And sizes. So sizes attribute, the value is sizes only. Specifies image sizes for different page layouts. That depends on layouts. And SRC, already I told you that is URL path of the image specifies. So URL you should write that specifies the path to the image. And SRC set that is URL list specifies list of images files to be used in different situations. And use map, so the value is hash map name which specifies an image and client side image map. And width, it specifies pixels, specifies the width of the image. So here among them, most of the cases we are using the SRC and alt prefix and height of the height and width. So many times, many attributes are there. These are the major attributes for in order to use images. Next, so this is the example. So I specify image height and width here. Okay, so here I just please see the difference previous program and this program. Here my here img src equal to straight away I have written down. See, I have written down image.jpg. I didn't specify path. If the image is current directory, current where actually the corresponding HTML file is there, now if you specify the image there, no need to specify the path. So at this scenario, just you should write image.jpg. And also, if the image not loaded or embedded into the page, just all the cases test image. And here width I am specifying. Okay, so 500 and height I am specifying 500. Okay, so I am specifying image height and width as 500, so that so these 500 and 500 pixels. So that the image is displayed like this. This is the output. Right hand side you observe. This is the output. Okay. So earlier image by default image will be displayed. So in this program I specified width and height so that the image is displayed like this. Next, so common image formats. So HTML image tag supporting these type of formats. So here the common image file types which are supported by the browsers. So almost all browsers supporting all these formats. So just see APNG. So file format animated portable network graphics. So file extension is .apng. GIF format graphics interchange format .jf and ICO Microsoft icon joint photograph expert icon. So .ico .cr and JPEG joint photographic expert. So that is JPEG format. So .jpg, .jpeg or .jfaf and PNG format portable network graphics .png, SVG scalable vector graphics .svg. So these are the formats supported in order to images can be embedded into the web pages by using img image tag. Next, so this is about HTML image. Image can be uploaded or embedded to the page. Next topic is HTML forms. Forms means see it is to create HTML forms. Okay, so what is a form means in order to collect the data which is available in the web page. So by using form tag, we can collect the user input, and the user input most often sent to the actually that type use whatever collected by the which are entered by the user, that will most of the cases sent to the server. Anyway, we done PHP programs by using forms, so that in order to perform form create form, we can the tag is form tag. Okay, so that is here the form opening tag and closed form tag. Whatever between you have written between form tag. So any information, anything. So by using form element or anything text if you write, so if you submit or if you send, if you perform action on that will be transferred to the corresponding server based on the target operation. Okay, so that the form element is a container for different types of input elements such as text field, checkboxes, radio buttons, submit buttons. So by using these buttons, we are sending the data to the other forms or its server side. Okay, so that form is an element of the HTML, so which is acting as container. Right. Next. So some of the attributes, input elements, while we use form. So here input is a tag, can be displayed many ways depending on the type of the attribute. So input. So user able to give the input now. That input on what ways we can give. So here the type examples are input type equal to text, which is to display the single line text input field, and input type equal to radio, which is to radio buttons for selecting one of many choices. Input type equal to checkbox, displays checkbox for selecting zero or many choices. Okay, and input type equal to submit, displays a submit button on the console and for submitting the form, right? And input type equal to button, displays the clickable button. Okay, these are the input elements which are comes under form. So this is a simple example. So in order to how to use input type equal to text. So input type equal to text, which defines a single line input field for the text. Okay. So that here simply I have written the code. So between the form, see the code here. This is the form area. Form we have created, right? So here we specify input type equal to text, ID equal to fname. So the attributes of input are one is type, ID, name, value. Okay, and also one more tag label for actually which is identifying the corresponding input for equal to fname and a first name I have written and I have specified label first name. So that first name belongs to first input box. In what way I will combine mapping each other here for C for f name should be equal to ID name. ID equal to f name is there now. That should be matched. So that here first name is mapping with input type text. That you should remember. And then one more label is there. That is L name, last name. Display the content is last name. So here mapping with the for equal to L name within the input type equal to text ID equal to L name. So this should be here ID, L name, and this is L name. Both should be same. So that the label and input corresponding mapping can be occurred. So that this is the output is. So see the right hand side. This is the output. Okay, so by default value I have given here John, so that the default value input text is John is okay. Then here the default value next input is DOE, so that it will be displayed DOE. So that the input type equal to text. Just I make it as a label mapping to the input type. Next program explain about radio buttons. Okay, radio buttons would select among many options. So here we have I have given three options: male, female, other. Okay. In order to create those male, female, other as a radio button, input type equal to radio, ID equal to male, name equal to gender, value equal to male. Okay. And also have created a label purposes. For male, I have written here that should be male equal ID equal to male. Both should be mapped. And also in the second one, female is label ID equal to female, and also label also for equal to female matches. Okay, and then input type equal radio and ID equal to other. That should be matched with the other, label other. So in that way, radio buttons are created by using input type equal to radio. Understood? So we are extra label concept we have introduced previous and in text as well as radio button in order to uniquely representation. Next, checkbox. Checkboxes input type equal to checkbox defines a checkbox. Checkboxes let user select 0 or more options of a limited number of choices. So radio button one should be select among the many options, and checkbox 0 or more options of limited number of choices. In order to create checkboxes, the input tag only we should use the but type equal to checkbox. Here type equal to checkbox. And ID equal to what we have written vehicle 1, that will be mapping with label for vehicle 1. So that display have a bike equal display. Okay. So I have a bike before that radio button will be sorry, bike. So bike before that there will be a checkbox, and then vehicle 2 value is car. Before that there will be a checkbox. And third one, boat, that will be displayed as checkbox. So in that way, in order to create checkboxes, there will be a checkbox option will be created by using corresponding type equal to checkbox. Next, submit button. So every form should consist of a submit button. So in order to perform form elements or taking the end user inputs, processing in order to end user inputs, processing is either maybe goes sent to the some other web page or else sent to the web server. Okay, so in that cases we should submit all the data form data to the corresponding target page. In that cases we should use submit. So here the input type equal submit defines button for submitting the form data to the form handler. So form handler may be other form, maybe server. And form handler is typically is a file on the server with a script of the processing input data, and form handler is specified in the forms action. So what actually form handler that we will specify by using action attribute of form handler. So in this case, simply just usual input type equal to text as usual. But third one you should observe this one. Input type equal to submit. The value is type equal to submit. Value is submit. So this will be displayed on the console for the submit button. So in that way we have created text boxes, radio buttons, check boxes, and submit buttons. Next, action attribute. So form is a element which is having attribute is action. In order to perform action form input data, so attribute is action. Action to be performed when the form is submitted. Whenever you submit, click on submit button, corresponding action will be done. Redirected to form handler. That can be done by the action. Okay. So usually the form data is set to a file on the server. When the user clicks on submit button, the target attribute specifies where to display response that is received after submitting the form. The target attribute can have one of the following values. So whenever if you click on submit button, nothing but performing action, target will be one more attribute, that is target attribute. So the target value may be these things underscore blank or else underscore self, underscore parent, underscore top, underscore frame name. So underscore blank means the response is displayed in the new window. So if the target is value is underscore blank, so form action will be performed in new window. If it is underscore self, it displays current window itself by default. Actually, by default value is underscore self, even though it is specify or not for corresponding target. Okay, so underscore self will be taken, right? Underscore parent, the response is displayed in the parent field. Underscore top, the response is displayed in the full body of the window. And frame name, so it displayed in the name right frame. So whatever frame you are giving the target attribute, that will be sent to the form action. Okay. Anyway, this is about form action attribute. So example for this is form action. Already we have given, even though without discussion earlier slide, that is action we have given. So in this, this simply I will give an example. So on submit data sent to the action I underscore page.php. Why? Because already we know PHP site. So already we did the programs in this form action also earlier cases, right? Form action equal to, we specify the path where it will be. So the current path I specified slash, if you specify dot, that is current path action I underscore page.php. Target I have given underscore blank itself. Okay, so as usual, remain label input type equal to text input type is submit. On submitting, click on the submit button. Action will be action underscore page.php itself redirected. So this is like this. Next. So one more form attribute is method. So mandatory methods are action, form action, and method. So the method may be post or get. So the method specifies Either HTTP method we use to when submitting the form data. Okay, so whenever if you submitting the form data, right, that time, so that may be posting the data or else retrieving the data from it. In that cases, there are two types of values are there for the method attribute. One is get, another is post. Already we discussed in earlier classes in PHP what is get and what is post and what is the difference between them. Okay, so we specified URLs of corresponding action will be performed whether if the method is post and default method submitting data is get. So this is the syntax for the form action as well as method. Next slides describe about what actual nodes required note. If you remember in get as well as post already we discussed earlier classes. So get appends the form data to the URL. So if you use method is get, whatever entered data will be appended to the URL. Nothing but that browser's data. That data will be displayed on URLs of the browser. And get should not use, not recommended to use sensitive data. Sensitive data means like username, password cases. Right? The length of the URL actually limited. So that is based on the bit. It is supported to 2048 characters in the URL. So that it limited amount of data will be if you use get, we will send to the form handlers. Okay. So useful for the form submission when the user wants to bookmark the result. That is okay. And get is good non-secure data like query string in the Google. Okay. So in that cases we go for get. And while coming to post, appends the form data inside the body of the HTTP request. So it cannot be shown under the URL of the web page. And post has no limit size limitations. Nothing but how much you want user able to send the data or size that will be sent to the form handler. Okay, so that most of the cases, majorly we will use post, method is post, and form submission with post cannot be bookmarked. And also, form is method is post is suggested for sensitive information. So whenever if you use the username and password, suggested method is post. So that this is the major difference between get and post in form. So form action, form element or tag which is having the action attribute, and there is the method. So method may be post or get. Next, these are the element HTML form elements. Okay, just go through once. So I'll go through. Form defines HTML form for user input, and input defines input controls. Input controls already I discussed. Those are radio input text, radio button, checkboxes, submitted, and buttons. Text area defines multiple input controls. So text and text area differences. Text is only single line characters. Text area means which specifies rows and columns, multiple columns, multiple rows. And label field already we discussed. Label which defines label for input element. Okay. Field set groups remains in the form. So for that we should go for field set, and select defines drop down list. So if the drop down list is there, now one will be selected. For that purpose we should go for select tag or element. Okay, opt group defines a group of related options in drop down, and options defines options in drop down list, and the button defines clickable button. Data list specifies list of predefined options for the input element, and output defines result of calculation. These are the form elements. Majorly we will use among them form, input, text area, select, options. Okay, these are the elements we can use in form. So finally, in this video, we have discussed about what is form images. So HTML image, how to embed images to the web page, and how to form control. Form tag will be for form. So in order to like form, it is a container. So the whatever data which is entered by the end user within the form, that will be sent to the form handler. So in order to handle those things, there are form controls are there. there are form attributes are there. By using that, we can send the data to the form handlers. That form handler may be target, other form, or else web service. So that by using HTML common tags, what we have the syllabus, we can develop web pages. Okay, so that not only these HTMLs, in many HTML tags are there. Already I told you in the last session, many HTML tags are there. Only in your syllabus, these are HTML tags. Next class, we are going to, next video, we are going to discuss about for like HTML frames and cascading styles. Thank you.